Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Binding of Isaac Repentance, where today we are going to do the Onan's Streak Challenge, where you play as Judas. You start off with chocolate milk, and if you miss a shot, you take damage. So it's pretty rough. There are certain items which sort of negate the whole challenge altogether. Stuff like brimstone, for instance, will just, it'll always count as hitting or at least not missing, so you end up just never taking damage from missed shots, and obviously stuff like that is just really nice. And simultaneously there are items where you can just suddenly take a hit every time you use it, like the ghost pepper, for instance. If you end up getting that and you shoot a flame, it will just hurt you. So there's a lot of stuff that can go on. I'm honestly not sure how conjoined works. However, I am not too interested in trying to get conjoined. Fortunately, Sister Maggie can actually attack, so at least we have something going on. If you have Book of Shadows and miss a shot, you will still take damage as well. Also, there is actually a little bit of a danger here with Little Maggie, in that you can shoot at an enemy and then Little Maggie will just kill it instead. Also, I think you can just shoot poops as well with the tears that you shoot, and it'll count as hitting it, and obviously that's pretty nice. But yeah, mostly just gotta watch out that Sister Maggie doesn't accidentally end up killing something I'm trying to shoot at and then ruin my day simultaneously for the poops, of course. That could also ruin my day. There are item rooms at least, so that is kind of nice. There are shops as well, I do believe, so and there's rocks as well. This one might take a minute. Until we get like a start with some health, I suppose, and also occasionally making sure that I actually look at what I'm doing. But at the same time, I also don't mind too much that we lost a run where we had Sister Maggie, because I do think it would have ended poorly regardless, so don't hate it. There is not a secret room up there, unfortunately, but yeah, the boss room's there, so it was never gonna happen. Fires you can shoot as well. I'm just kind of making this up as I go along, but I have a decent idea what I am and I'm not supposed to be shooting at, so there's some planning that went into this. The super secret room is not to the bottom of the boss room, unfortunately, so we're just gonna leave that alone. No, it's not over here either. Really no idea where any of the secret rooms are when I look at that. Unlock stick could be interesting, although mostly for the tear rate, I think. I would be too scared to try and shoot diagonally with it, since you would have to let go of both buttons at the same time. Obviously, stopwatch would be pretty amazing, since it would be easier to hit enemies. But not exactly guaranteed that we're going to be able to afford that today, unless I get Pageant Boy from the boss here. Or a bunch of bombs, I guess, so we can look for a secret room. But that's really the only two ways that I can see that working out, unfortunately. This boss, you gotta make sure that he doesn't just teleport away from you as well. But now we actually have some health to start off with, so that's actually kind of nice. It does make it a little bit safer. Our charge rate is pretty good. Our damage is really high as well, which is, it does make life a little bit easier that our damage and our tear rate is as high as it is. So hopefully we can do some good stuff with that. I will probably be going for Devil Deals, just because the Brimstone would just simplify this a lot, and honestly, we have to go all the way to Isaac, so I really wouldn't mind making this as simple as it can be. But we'll see. It's a tricky one for sure. The reward is not really great. You get the kidney stone as a reward, I believe, for finishing this challenge, and that is certainly not an item for everyone. But I don't know. It works really well with Rock Bottom. I do feel like it works better now than it did before Repentance, although it's still a little difficult to use whenever it does show up, but hopefully whenever we unlock it, we're gonna have a good time with it. And if not, that's okay too. That's a bunch of bombs. That's a lot of bombs, actually. That's 7 bombs that we can place quicker. Bombs also do not count towards missed shots. I do not know if that's the same with Dr. Fetus, actually, since you will technically be shooting tears, but I assume Dr. Fetus will probably just count as not missing a shot all the time, pretty much, so that would at least be my hope. And if it doesn't work that way, then that's obviously just very unfortunate, since it certainly would make life a lot easier. I'm guessing that if you take damage from this, you'll also lose your Devil Deal, but I'm not 100% sure about that. But Certainly wouldn't try it just for fun. Another soul heart over there, which I'm just gonna take. Having as much health as possible seems pretty good. Also, if we are gonna take brimstone from a devil deal, then I would like to have some health available for the remainder of the run, or at least for a little bit of the run. So we're just gonna try to do that. Obviously, never missing is also just kind of tricky, but you do have some time to aim your shots all the time. At least in the earlier parts of the game, so that's at least kind of nice. That is a lot of red health, which might be useful. I'm also just gonna take my time to look for as much as possible, really, just to make life as easy as can be. The secret room can realistically just be all over the place, unfortunately. So I might try like these two places just to see if we can get into that double key room over there. But other than that, I have no idea. All right, nice. Ooh, spin down dice. That could be interesting. Especially with this mod, of course, where we can just see what it's going to re-roll into. Bible's actually not too terrible, since it... I don't know if I want to have the Bible, actually, because the downside with the Bible is that if I touch it, then I'm one book away from bookworm, and I think that's going to cause trouble. That I don't really want to be into. We're getting a lot of health, at least, so that's good. This this makes my bombs a lot better if I re-roll it. But simultaneously, again, I would love to have the health instead. This is obviously pretty good because it's just some extra damage to the room, which is quite nice. It does lower our devil deal chance a bit if we don't take this, but honestly, I think this is just the best choice right now. So we're just going to go with these spin down dice instead. This is a boss that drops a soul heart when he dies, I do believe, so that is wonderful. There we go. Look at our health right now. It's actually amazing. And that is the Sword of Damocles, which turns into Dirty Mind. Which I'm not too interested in, especially not for 2 soul hearts. Actually, does it? Okay, it does change its price upon re-rolling, which is fair enough, I suppose. I'm tempted to go with Devil Deals, because I'm not sure... Like, Sacred Heart would be amazing. Actually, a lot of Angel Room items would be actually pretty good. This is, like, specifically... the Brimstone, the Angel Brimstone would be a little rough, just because you'd shoot the Brimstone first, and then the tear would come out, and more likely than not, you're going to end up with a situation where the enemy dies, and then your tear misses, and you end up taking damage. So it's fairly precarious, but yeah, it's fair enough. I do feel like the spin down dice have given us a lot of freedom, though, which I'm very happy about, because... I mean, as long as you don't miss, it's fine. But obviously, never missing in this game is can be rather tricky, especially if you have rooms like this. I could just go for the black poops, actually, which would make life a little bit easier. But yeah, fair enough. Also, there's one of the charming poops that we've unlocked recently, and yeah, a little of the dirty mind poops come out when you actually destroy it, and that's pretty neat. Got that for beating, I believe it was Mega Satan as the tainted blue baby. And yeah, that can help us out a little bit. Any little bit of extra damage ultimately, hopefully, helps. Obviously, it is not guaranteed to help, as it can, once again, just kill an enemy before your tear reaches it, but still, that's fine. This is interesting, because if I re-roll that, it becomes this. I'm going to touch it just for the sake of... getting the mom transformation item, I suppose. I could also just destroy a bunch of rocks with it. But next up is the battery pack, and that's just going to drop a whole bunch of batteries on the floor, which could obviously be really nice with these spin down dice once again. We'll see what is in the remainder of this floor, I suppose. Over here, we could get the converter, or just some other garbage, and over here we could... maybe get Mama Mega if we use the battery pack specifically, like if we just do that often enough. Other than that, not too interested. We did get a lot of money out of that one flame at least, so that's quite nice. And I'm just gonna let these flies do the rest. There you go. I'm guessing my super secret room is over here, judging from the layout of everything. More red hearts. Yeah, I mean, it is kind of worthwhile, I think, to check out where, who, what, where, really, because I could recharge my item once again by doing the challenge room. If there is a demon beggar, I kind of want to go for that, but I think we have run out of floor for that to exist, which is unfortunate. I think the secret room has to be here. And indeed it is. That is pretty nice. That's some extra angel room and devil deal chance right there. And I don't fully recall if there was anything else worthwhile anywhere. I might well just do this. Re-roll that into the battery pack. I don't think I can realistically get anything else useful out of that. I think it recharges when you pick it up. And yeah, it just drops 2 tiny batteries and 1 big one. I actually thought it dropped multiple big ones, but might have misremembered that, unfortunately. Yeah, not really too interested in any of this, so we're just going to move on, I think. I don't think there was any other items on the floor. There could be one in the curse room, I suppose, but let's just move on for now. Maybe we'll get an angel room or devil deal or something like that, and that could end up just working out. And just slowly but surely take care of the various parts of Fistula here. As it is a very predictable boss where it goes ultimately, so you can, if done well, take your time for it. But it can get a little scary since they do deal a full heart of damage whenever they hit you. It ended up working out. This I actually wouldn't mind re-rolling. Maybe all the way to Goathead actually, which could be done with the challenge room, I think. Yeah. Let's see what's over here first though. We got the possibility for Proptosis, which is actually also really good. Because if your tier misses, but disappears before it hits like the floor, I think it was, then it still doesn't count as a missed tier. But I'm not sure if I really want to bother. Fruitcake's pretty horrendous because your tiers just go all over the place. Or just become tiers that end up missing for some reason or another. Similar with like Explosivo tiers, for instance, they count as missed if they fall off the enemy you shot them on. Like stuff like that you have to really worry about mostly, but I think I don't want this. I think I'd rather go re-roll that and then use the battery to re-roll it one more time and then get the 2 little batteries and do the challenge room to re-roll it one more time into the goat head and just have devil deals for the remainder of the run. Or at least have the door open for the remainder of the run. I'm guessing we'll see how that works, I suppose. This obviously would also just be pretty amazing. Like, it's a pretty rough one to re-roll, but simultaneously, when given the option for just more devil deals for the remainder of the run, or a little bit of extra damage, which I don't feel like we need the extra damage right now. Mostly because our damage is not the problem. We are killing pretty much everything in one hit, so I'm not especially concerned about that. I'm really more concerned about staying alive. And if we have something like Brimstone, we just win. So it's really would be nice to get that, obviously. Just gonna, once again, take my time. We have hit each enemy once. Somehow they all managed to teleport in a interesting way. That's fine. Anything that spawns enemies is dead. There we go. Very nice. And now we can re-roll that into a goat head. And move along with relatively safe-ish build, assuming that we get something good out of one of the following devil deals or angel rooms. Assuming that angel rooms still open with a goat head, which I'm honestly not 100% sure about. No, it is devil and angel room, so is it just... Yeah, it sets it to 50% each. Yeah, fair enough. That's pretty cool. I don't think there's really anything else I want to do. I could quickly check out if there was a battery in my shop, because I was considering re-rolling that devil deal, but no, there's this and a card, which could be good actually. Hermit, that's okay. And 2 bombs. Yeah, there could have been like a regular battery, I think, in that sack. Is that true? Maybe I've only ever seen little batteries. I don't know what's real anymore, but we're just gonna move on. I feel like we're probably still okay so far. We got our item room immediately. Okay. If we could turn that into a magic mushroom, I'd obviously be very happy, but that's going to be a tricky one. Alright, that does make it a little bit easier, of course. Let's just first check out the remainder of the floor, though, because there is It's caves too, is the thing. And caves floors are not huge by any means, but we don't need that many rerolls. I do need to not miss though. But Magic Mushroom is going to give us so much extra damage, but also just some extra stats in general. Which is obviously just really nice. So if we can just get something to happen like that, then that would be amazing. But we'll see. We'll first just move along the remainder of this floor. There's like a battery bum in the arcade room. No. Blowing that up doesn't really have a purpose right now either other than consumables, so I'm just going to leave that alone. Just going to focus that one down because he deals more damage than anyone else. Definitely not touching that because that would be a nightmare. And I think after this room I'm just going to go back to the item room and re-roll that heart. Oh god, yeah. And that's what you get when a fly. That's what you get when a fly. Because, unfortunately, there is still some danger. I might as well check out the secret room, I suppose. But I'll do that in a second. Honestly, any of the syringes would also not be terrible either, but... obviously I would rather have the magic mushroom. I'm actually going to check out the curse room as well, since I do have that hermit card as well. I didn't even check if it was worth rerolling. Is there a purpose to killing these? Not really. Okay. Okay, so that guarantees that we can get our reroll. Assuming we can afford it. I need 1 coin. Alright. That makes life easy. In that case, we're just going to walk back over to that item room. The odds are fairly small that there's going to be something better than Magic Mushroom coming up ahead, but I didn't look that carefully. Yeah. there definitely is not. So, maybe at some point, but definitely not anything worthwhile. So, we're just going to do that. Very nice. I will say that finding the spin down dice has definitely made life a little bit easier than it otherwise would have been, but you know, once again, anytime the game decides to make life a little bit easier for me, I will take that, because this game can be tricky. And honestly, I don't mind it. Taking red heart damage doesn't really matter as much anymore either, because of that goat head as well, so that's wonderful. Just take my time here. This one's a little finicky, but not impossible. We are running out of floor here. There should be a boss room coming up. I'm guessing this is the super secret room, just based on room layout alone. And that machine might be good if there's a lot of red hearts. I'm actually not sure. I guess I should have waited to pick up the magic mushroom, but nah. I was not prepared for that to arrive. Because the magic mushroom does end up healing you fully. It does heal a lot, at least, so... Wouldn't surprise me if it's a full heal, actually. Alright, so that's a lot of health, so that's pretty good. I'm not too tempted to reroll this. I think the bouncing tears were... I don't remember if they were good or terrible, but it was one of them. It was one or the other, for sure. I just don't fully remember which one is which, but I'm gonna reroll the key piece, I think. Ooh, Scythes. I think that effectively just never misses. Ooh, I might be wrong on that, but we're gonna find out together. I'll take that as well, I suppose, because why not, but... I'm actually just gonna... Because I think if this goes through an enemy, it still counts as hitting. It might still count as miss if it just hits like a floor. Yeah, okay, so obviously don't do that. But I do hope that this isn't just death. Also, I should have, again, probably used this before picking up the bandage. But, you know, I'm just going to move on. And leave. But if this does work the way that I hope it does, then we're good. Otherwise, we might have to restart this run. Let's see here. Okay, yeah. The enemies are still dying. My tears are hitting stuff afterwards, and it doesn't really matter too much. And also, our tears are just absolutely massive right now, so obviously that is pretty great as well. It really significantly reduces the chance of us missing, and honestly, Oh my god. Okay, well, Crack the Sky is maybe not the best, but Flight is pretty great. In most instances, I will say. So we're just gonna take that. But, yeah, I mean, Spin Down dice are completely carrying this run, and I am fully okay with that. I do not mind that at all. It is a difficult challenge. It really is. And if the game decides, you know what, just have all the good stuff, then I will take all the good stuff. We could get a second chocolate milk. I'm actually not sure if that does anything. I kind of have to assume it doesn't, but I'm mildly curious. So, I don't know. Let's see the rest of this floor. It's a lot of big rooms on this floor. Like, re-rolling growth hormones seems like a ridiculous idea, but at this point, it doesn't matter as much anymore. Our damage is not exactly low at this stage, and our tears are huge, so... Also, we have spectral tears, so I can just shoot over rocks and things, so rooms like this aren't as big of a nightmare that they otherwise would have been, because hitting those rocks would have just hurt you every single time. It would have been horrendous. But now it's just a matter of, well, fair enough. Over here, I think. There we go. And then we just need one more recharge. Let's just see if this is a 48-hour energy. Range down. That could actually be kind of rough if you have enough range downs, I suppose, because then your tears could reach the floor a little bit too quickly and end up dealing damage. Alright. Just to... Because I'm curious, what happens with multiple chocolate milks? I'm assuming nothing. I also don't know how tech would work with this, but I also have to assume that not much would change. Well, I say not much would change. With that, I mean literally the opposite, that you would just miss a lot, or that it would work like Brimstone, where it's just like, it's fine. I don't think the double chocolate milk has done anything, but it's hard to like compare tier sizes to one another on the fly. So I'm not really going to worry about it too much for sure. That's fine. I think this is a super secret room. Yep. Cool. Might be useful, but nah. We have to go to the cathedral. If we have to go to the Lamb, then obviously a sacrifice room might be the play at this stage because of the large quantity of health available on this floor. But since it's a cathedral, we do not have that option, so yeah, fair enough. I'll take that. Could be useful. Whoop. It's a shame double chocolate milk doesn't seem to do as much, so I would have hoped for like just the biggest tier, really. But ooh, rock bottom was on the way there, but didn't quite see it in time, unfortunately. Dead cat. It's a second guppy piece. Simultaneously, I could just go for damage, which I also don't hate. I also don't mind having health, I suppose. It is a second guppy piece, though. And obviously Guppy is fairly amazing during this as well. Yeah, it's tricky. Amnesia. Health up. Should have taken that afterwards. I guess. You know what? Let's not overcomplicate things here. We'll just go like this. I think I got everything. Amnesia does hurt a bit in that regard, but yeah, fair enough. Doesn't matter. Hopefully we can get a third guppy piece just to make life even easier. But honestly, having 9 lives is not too terrible either. Just because it does make life a little bit simpler. It's a little bit more affordable to die, I suppose, which is quite nice. Let's just throw one of those in there. But yeah, if we can just get a bunch of flies to just kill everything rather than us having to shoot at stuff, then that's amazing. Also stuff like the toxic cloud attack or whatever it's called, like stuff like that is just incredible. Because you can end up dealing just so much damage without having to fire, and then the whole challenge kind of becomes moot, and that is just lovely. That's a lot of health. I guess I'll just play with this a little bit longer. There we go. Might make the final shop a little bit better as well, which could be useful. There we go. How nice. Giant tears in a big room. That's just good time for everyone. I'll use the moon card. Where are we at? Ooh, we are far away from where we started. That's really good. If we can get some coins anywhere, then that's just a bunch of extra health usually, especially with our current health situation. That's obviously amazing, so do not mind that trinket as long as we can find some more money. There's a shop right here. Black candle and the reroll thing we could get missing now and ruin our day. None of this is really as interesting as the black candle, I would say, so I'm just going to take that. Haven't seen my item room yet. There is the boss room, which we will not be able to leave once we enter it because it is the depths 2, I do believe. There we go. Big room, but no items. That's unfortunate. I guess it's somewhere in between these two because there's not much left. There we go. I'll take that. For a tinier chest. Very cool. Yeah, that's scary. So I'm just going to leave that alone. I'm not sure if there's any more money on this floor, really. Because we have gone to most places at this stage, I think. I mean, obviously we could just play the blood donation machine for a little bit longer. If we can find a the thing we can carry around with us, that would actually be quite nice. But I might just play this for a minute. For those reasons specifically. Because that does simplify things a lot. Obviously, I should get Polaroid. Assuming that exists in the challenge. Because that just allows me to play that thing way more with way less effort. So let's go fight a boss. Depths 2, we are well on the way to completing this, which is wonderful. Let's go here. There is some fool's gold waiting for us as well. My mother is helping out a little bit. Should probably just let her blow that up, but effort. There we go. Wonderful. And we do get the Polaroid, so that's amazing. Alright, so Incubus is amazing. Because I recall Incubus... If I remember correctly, Incubus doesn't count as a missed shot. And it is behind you, so usually it'll mean that it'll hit afterwards. Simultaneously, I'm not 100% sure, so I'm actually just gonna leave. Alright, let's go run into this for a minute. With Polaroid, that is not a problem at all. Do not mind this method compared to the alternative. That's another half soul heart right there, and another one. This run is giving us anything anyone could possibly need, and again, I really appreciate that because this thing can ruin your mood. I think that still hurts you through Polaroid, right? I'm just gonna test that. But I'm pretty sure that if you use that while Polaroid is active, you still take damage now. Let's see. Yep. Alright. It is a guaranteed way to have Polaroid, which is obviously really nice, but not quite what I'm looking for to stay alive. I'd rather just go like this. What do we reroll this into? Oh, well then. That certainly makes life a little easier. I could have looked for one more recharge, so we could have turned that into a Guppy's Paw, and then we would have had Dead Cat plus Guppy's Paw, which is basically a win on its own in a lot of instances. I'm just going to go like this. I'm worried about Incubus. At this point, I really don't want to take something that would ruin this build because, quite frankly, it's amazing, and I doubt we're going to get something this good again. So, we're just going to move on like this. Watch out for red hearts. Maybe get a red chest on occasion, but we are going to have so many flies. Nope. That's a lot of red hearts. It's a lot of red hearts, actually, but not quite what I'm looking for right now. Oop. There we go. Just get a build that kills everything in one hit. And then never miss. And before you know it, challenge completed. 25 coins. No worries. That's all you need. Because once we reach the boss, we're probably going to have so many flies that the boss just dies instantly. That's at least my hope. But we'll see what happens, I suppose. Not even checking stuff out that well anymore. I should get that since there is a couple of things there that I would like to mess around with. There we go. No effect. Unidentified pill. We're range up. Fair enough. I can play both of these at least. Forget me now. Rerolls into a razor. Rerolls into homing bombs. All. The razor's pretty good, I suppose, because you can at least get back to Polaroid health, which is quite nice, of course. I don't remember if that item next to the school bag will ruin your life, so I'm actually just going to take the school bag. Especially, actually, if I have the school bag, I might as well go for that razor, thinking about it. Since I can carry 2 items anyway, and then I can... If I accidentally do pick up a full red heart, then I can fix that, so... Yeah. Do not hate that at all. Alright, so that's even more protection than we already had, so that's just wonderful. Plus we can deal a little bit more damage when we use the razor blade as well, so all in all... That's pretty good. Oh god, right. That's bad room. It's a bad room for this build. Ball of bandages. That's another guppy piece. Both rerolls not great. I feel like hitting the poop wouldn't matter too much thinking about it because we do have spectral tears, but they still end up hitting the poop, so I think it would still count as hitting, but maybe I just got hit by spikes or something. I don't know, something was hitting me. Although I think it was only taking half a heart of damage, right? So, I don't know. It's a lot. There's a lot going on. I'm not going to worry about it anymore. We got another blood donation machine, so you can probably guess what's going to happen next. Once we find a red heart somewhere, which so far the womb has been pretty good at delivering. So that was also another soul heart right there, so it becomes a little bit less tempting, but quite frankly, using these healing machines seems like a pretty nice idea. Did not mean to get hit there again. Was hoping I could get away with using that one more time, and ultimately I kind of did, because I'm going to say that those were the coins that gave me the health back, but maybe not the best idea. Ah, look at that though. That is just lovely. Come on. You can tell when they come up because the flies prematurely fly in that direction. It's a great tell. Outside of the fact that your flies die and no one dies. But, you know, they try their best and I appreciate that. Moving on, that's a mimic, but I don't think that mimic's gonna... Well, I mean, the flies killed him, but I don't think he would attack me just because of how charged tears work in this game. There we go. How evil am I right now? I mean, fairly evil, but simultaneously I don't think it's worth it just because of the rest of the build. I mean, damage, again, is not the problem we're having here. Of all the things that we could buy, I really would just like wafer or something that's pretty... Wafer and holy mantle, stuff like that would be really nice to have, but other than that, quite frankly, I think this build is fine. It does not need much more than this. Because quite frankly, this is an absurd amount of stuff already. I should look for a secret room, I guess. I was kind of hoping with the room shape it would work out, but unfortunately, it did not. There's a couple places where the secret room could be, but I'm not feeling it. Not feeling it. Don't feel like running around for it. I'm just gonna shoot this boss for a while and then move on. To the last floor of the challenge. Missed the final shot there, unfortunately. Scoopy or... Not really too interested. I'm just gonna move on, I think. I could definitely harvest a lot more money there, but I'm not really. I think I'm ready to finish this challenge and call it a day. Because I believe in us. Even if we end up dying somewhere here, then Dead Cat will put us at least in sort of a situation that could be manageable. I might leave all the hearts on the floor, I suppose, just for the sake of making sure that we have some health for the actual boss. We'll see if that ends up being necessary, I suppose. That's nothing, unless there's stuff in those flames. I could leave the Rotten Heart there as well, I suppose, but it doesn't really end up helping me out at the end of the day. That's a free room. No secret room there, unfortunately. Would have been nice. Maybe we can teleport at some point on this floor so we can check out that curse room. Watch me die because I didn't play with the blood donation machine. That would be pretty rough, but I mean, we'll see, I suppose. Sloth. The Bob's rotten head. I'll touch it. Just for fun. Then I'll just start a re-rolling party. This is never going to become anything good. That requires so many re-rolls. Like Tammy's head is just... I think that's pretty much an instant death if you use that, because it'll just count everything as a missed shot or something like that. It's not great. Let's just have the flies do a lot of the work here. Do gotta be careful with those flies, unfortunately, because there's such a good chance that you just try to shoot an enemy that's already dead. Oh god. Kind of like that, yeah. I'm gonna leave that here just for the sake of having some health available for later. Oh god. That's a nasty room right there. Free room again because we have flight. Very nice. Red heart. And there is the boss room already. Very good. Okay. Not sure if I should just go like this and then have the health available as a safety, or if I should just get all the health and get going, because honestly that doesn't sound like too terrible of an idea right now. Don't really want to mess with this, but let's just see if we can get a little bit more here. The half a heart is actually kind of nice because it's an extra hit and you still have that Polaroid range. So I do not mind that. Very nice. Keys. Which turns into raw liver. That's actually not bad. Yeah, I might actually go for that, you know? I don't hate it. Might just turn that into half a heart though, just for safety's sake. And let's just quickly check out the curse room. Maybe the super secret room if it's in a good place, like if it's like over here or near the boss room somewhere. That would be lovely, but not guaranteed. Please do not crash the game when I use the hermit card. Very nice. It's just one of those weird fears where I'm fairly sure it can happen, but I'm never quite sure why it would. Until it does actually happen. It's like, oh, I guess that was it then. That's unfortunate. But fair enough. Let's just blow this up. Nice, very good. 5 pills, unidentified for the most part. Amnesia. Verp. Oh, that would have been really nice with the full health pill, huh? Oh well. Was there any more half a hearts? There's one in the curse room, but that's not... Well, it doesn't really matter, I suppose. It requires a little bit of maneuvering, but ultimately I think we can get away with using that to get back to half a heart. Okay. I did not expect that to still occur. Fair enough. I mean, I understand that on the map was like dark. The room was darkened to show that there were still enemies in there. But I kind of figured Monstro wouldn't still be there. Oh, well. Fair enough, I suppose. It was a funny thing to see, at least, so we got that going for it. Let's just go to the boss and hopefully call it a day afterwards. I was not ready for that. Just gotta be a little careful, but overall, this isn't too bad, especially with this damage. Really just, as long as I don't miss, we're fine. That's the whole challenge, I suppose, but especially here, it's just very much the end, and it does get a little nerve-wracking, even with a build like this, but honestly, I think we're fine. Yeah, we're good. Very nice. The challenge is completed. It was one that I was quite worried about. We got the kidney stone in the basement, and it is another challenge completed. And it is one of the trickier ones, so I'm very happy that we got that out of the way. It's another one of the Afterbirth challenges, and I guess this is Afterbirth Plus, if I remember correctly. Either way, it is another challenge completed, and I hope you all enjoyed it. Next time we play, we'll do another run with a different character, and I hope to see you all there. Bye-bye.